Hey everybody, Corey down here. Just wanted to go over the 1.2 patch notes and the DLC. It's also going to be a little bit of talking about the DLC and is it worth it and should you buy it. Uh, Personally, my opinion is for $20, I think if you enjoy the game a lot and you're playing it a lot, it's worth it. But if you're only playing through the game like once or twice and not really doing it that much, it's a DLC you can pass on for now and wait for a sale. I also think it's probably less impactful in adventure mode, and it's more fun as a Obelisk mode, having the extra characters, but that's just me. I'm not going to be playing adventure mode, so I want to buy it for adventure mode. But if you're playing the game in Obelisk mode nearly every day and putting in hundreds of hours, that's definitely worth the $20 to get the new characters and enjoy them. But let's go over what you get for free and what you don't get for free. So pretty much the only thing you're not getting for free in this update are the characters and the pets, of course, and the new act. But everything else you have access to. There's even a couple new Obelisk mode events that you're getting for free. And let's just go over the patch notes here, and we'll go from there. So what we got here is... Alright, update 1.2 is upon us, with our first full expansion DLC, the Sands of Ulminin. New systems have been added to the DLC Sands of Ulminin. That means balance changes are required for parts of the game to support the system. Without further ado, here are the patch notes of 1.2. Alright, so first of all, we're getting Sandbox mode. Sandbox mode, when you complete the adventure for first turn, new way to play will open up. Customize the game how you like. This is the first implementation of Sandbox mode. And this time we'll keep improving it, adding options and adapting to other game modes. That's true, it's only for adventure right now. Keep in mind this mode enables you to modify most of the game, or many of the game options with varied and drastic combinations that will affect the balance of the game. I did a video on the Sandbox mode and what's happening to it. Let me go bring that up here and cross the obelisk. There we go. And get me out of there. So, a lot of options here. I think the most interesting one is number of total heroes, and you can change this in multiplayer, so if you're only playing with like 2 people, and you both want to each control 1 character each, you can do that with the setting here. You can also remove monsters, make it even. You can do double champions if you're a masochist. But yeah, and this should also make getting the wiki done a lot easier when you have event roll succeed always, and you don't have to worry about getting random nasty cards put in your deck. But alright, let's switch back to that patch notes. And we also have the Scarab system. Occasionally some lucky scarabs will appear in combat and complete the requirements to obtain additional rewards. That's a very interesting thing, and you do not need the DLC for this, so keep that in mind as new things will be spawning in Act 2 and 3 for you to get rewards. If you know auras and curses, you don't need the DLC for that either. Well, but the 2 heroes do heroines specialize in the new mechanics, so it's kind of like playing lightning builds without Wilbur. It kind of, I'd say it's not that bad because Wilbur does increase lightning build a lot, but these 2 will increase the new mechanics a lot. Like, they're not completely useless, but they're a lot worse without the 2 new characters. But they're additions to old cards. We also have 20 new cards, which are pretty amazing, especially the new mythics. I'm actually going to bring that up right now and open the Tome of Knowledge here. Some of my favorite new cards are, I think they're all, yeah, Potents, where they're cycling cards where you discard X, you draw X, and then you gain energy. Fury, Fortify, and Mitigate. Kind of crazy. I thought the Scout one was also named Potence, but Mage 1 is Vanish, and you gain X2 for the card you vanish for energy. So if you have 5 cards that you vanish, you're going to be drawing 10, you're going to be getting 10 energy, and you're also going to be getting 10 powerful. Just complete hand refresh. It's amazing. And then you can also even use it on other heroes to like super buff them up too by vanishing your own cards. And then healers get, if I just put X, do I get a C? Deja Vu is an interesting new card where you're shuffling Deja Vus into your deck and they're doing damage and applying insane based on how many cards are in your banish file, and since these are vanishing and you're adding more into your deck, it's interesting new mechanic to go for. Yeah, a lot of these new cards I do not have unlocked, so you're able to see them there. Omniscience is the one for priests where you gain bless. Yeah, cycle cards, they're pretty amazing. You also get a Storm Javelin as a new scout card, which is super fun. That also fits into lightning builds, and is our first lightning detonator. Anyways, that's the new cards, some of them. There's a lot to explore, there's a lot of combos to go through. Amazing that they're free. Many balance changes improving the many lesser used charge, such as damage by speed or discarding cards. Ambush got like super crazy. Look at that. Deals damage based on your stealth times 6. There's Acrobatic Strike, which deals damage based on evasion. We also got yep, here's discard X. Toxic Strike, you can just discard your hand and go pop, 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 pop. I think Mage has got an interesting one with Curse of Elements. Apply X based on how much you discard. All In is a super interesting fighter one. Does a ton of damage if you're discarding cards. And then we also have Changes to Skull Splitter is probably some of my favorites. This is now 3 cost for 50 damage, 9 crack, 4 mark, but you suffer 2 fatigue, so you're going to have 2 less energy to work with next turn. But kind of crazy. Alright. 10 new items, and a lot of those new items, I think those new items aren't actually included in to having to buy the DLC. So let me go into that. Go over here, the new items. Yeah, you get the black deck, where every time you play a spell card, you get a curse card, which is a book that you can play on anybody, which increases the book synergies for like Wilbur and everything. There is the Lover, which I think is a big one. It's a new Tula card, which is more regeneration and synergies. We get a new Penitence Ring, which is every Sanctify Charge, Apply Bleed. Sorry, I am all over this DLC. Well, not DLC, but patch, and there's so much to go through. Serenity Ring's another new one that's pretty interesting. There's a lot of new accessories as well, like Lava Potion here for Self-Burn Cornelius, comes from DT 800. Lost Mail is a new interesting one where you're getting useless letters, so even more book synergies. But yeah, 10 new items that don't require the DLC is pretty cool. And let's bring back the update. I'm not going to go through the balance changes, but yeah, changes to Obelisk mode. Quite a few of them. It's a lot harder now. I felt like I was starting to master the last one, and now I'm going to start getting my ass kicked over and over again. Might have to change a lot of my strategies. And all the new enemies in the expansion are including the Obelisk mode and Adventure mode with random combat activated. So you can fight the new enemies without owning the DLC, and I'm not sure if that's correct for the Adventure mode, but still awesome. We get the random team generation button, improvement in combat tooltips according to various perks. Very nice. A lot of balance changes. I think nothing too bad, nothing that makes any characters marginally worse or better, but just a lot of things. Oh, and Obelisk Challenge had a good thing where change the event that heals before a boss battle, a place to rest. It's no longer a reward requirement for the healing thing, it's just now a guaranteed thing, and now all classes have a custom option, like removing, upgrading, crafting new cards. And another really good thing about the Obelisk Challenge change is every single map now has a maximum score path, so you're not having to reroll to go for maximum score. And then just scrolling through here, nothing big really to change here. A lot of item buffs. And a lot of changes to the cost reduction things, which I think makes them better. And then another big change here is remove most of the immunities that are shutting down builds. So you can no longer have enemies that are immune to like burn and crack and Armageddon, dark and putrefaction, replace them with a bit of extra resistances for the corresponding type. It did really suck when you're playing dark healer or dark and you got against dark immune enemies, or you got melancholy where they are immune to insanity when you're playing neglect. So neglect is now useless for healing. So. Oh, and increase the thermal armor time for excellent rating to round 3 in all combats of Act 4's upper map. That is pretty neat. Anyways, those are my thoughts on the update, the DLC, everything. I'm probably just going to put in the thumbnail like what I suggest for the DLC. Probably take another look at the DLC, the reception and everything in a week or so. See how that goes. But yeah, I hope you all have fun. Remember to brush your teeth, take care of yourselves, and thanks Randy for the awesome new avatar here that's chatty and talking. Y'all be good. Peace out. Bye. Charizard. Haha. And now back to the dragon.